welcome to Escapade at Imagine Venues in Houston, Texas. This is Fury FC 82, Moran versus Trujillo. But first, please welcome to the cage for your opening preliminary contest, Dayton Ames.
Dayton Ames, Austin, Texas stand up, but man, he brought a crowd with him. Nice little pop here for Dayton Ames. The kickboxing background, as you just mentioned, Alex, a lot of people excited to watch Ames throw down in his debut, and you see he's in great shape.
Yeah, he's a pretty big guy. I actually had one of my guys kickbox against him in Dallas, and the fight was at 165 pounds. And I was like, man, he's a good-sized welterweight, but turns out he's a lightweight, and he's fighting at 155 tonight for his mixed martial arts debut. I was unaware, you know, he did a lot of grappling. We just assumed he was a kickboxer when we did our tape study. But man, he seems to be well-rounded. And I'll tell you, he's got a really tough debut in Andrew Lauterbach. This is such an insane opening bout. Both guys are great prospects. Both guys super physical, super technical. It really doesn't get much better than this.
Yeah, at 155, Alex, they're just adding to the stable of lightweights we have in that division, the amateur and eventually the pros, because both of these guys, I expect big things out of them as an amateur, but even bigger things in them in the future whenever they become pros.
All right, Dayton is inside, so let's meet his opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Andrew Lauterbach.
Andrew Lauterbach, second time inside the Fury FC cage, but really making the walk for the third time, because the first time the fight was a no contest, so he made that walk. The second fight, it was a rematch against Andrew Villarreal, where he got that nice win. It was a gritty win, and now making the walk to the cage for the third time. And man, this guy can hit.
Yeah. So Andrew Lauterbach is going to be his ring name. That's what he prefers. So Lauterbach, that's a cool name. Blends well with his last name. But man, he was actually a little disappointed when he won that rematch. And I told him, I was like, hey man, that guy was good. That fight was competitive. It took place everywhere. When you're a pro, you'll be very grateful that fight was as challenging as it was, because it will forge you into a better fighter. And his match today in Dayton Ames will be no easier. But man, I know Andrew, he trains with mostly pros. You know, the guys at War, they probably have the most active training room of amateur and pro fighters. You know, he gives me great rounds. This, again, like I can't tell you guys how insanely good of a first fight for a big card this will be.
It's going to be so much fun. You mentioned the nickname, Lauterbach, taking on the Bullfrog, Dayton Ames, and you see our tail of the tape, the reach advantage goes to Andrew. Just a slight height advantage. Both guys did make weight, and the 26-year-old Dayton Ames going in there trying to make some noise like a bullfrog. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but have y'all ever heard a bullfrog scream? No. It's not as deep as you think. It actually sounds like a toddler. I learned about this on Friday night, so there you go, a little fun fact for you. Let's get our official introductions. Here's Wayne.
Ladies and gentlemen, your opening preliminary contest, brought to you by Space City Collective, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series Lightweight Division. Introducing your first competitor, fighting out of the blue corner. Representing John's Gym in Austin, Texas, this mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 154.4 pounds. Fighting out of Austin, Texas, today he makes his amateur debut. Here is Dayton Ames. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, representing the War Training Center, this freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, and he weighed in at 154 pounds even. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, his amateur record stands at 1 win, no losses. This is Andrew Lauterbach. Your referee in charge of the action, Patrick Patlon.
All right, Patrick Patlon gets the first assignment of the night. Blue trunks, blue gloves for Ames, red gloves for Lauterbach. Let's get this thing going.
Oh man, huge right hand from Lauterbach. Right off the bat. Nice clinch knee. Oh, another big right hand just right behind the ear. That's going to take your equilibrium off.
Lauterbach's hands
he's
are
out
so
again.
heavy.
I think we're going to see a finish here. Man, these are huge shots. Andrew's not holding back at all. He's got a nice front headlock. His coaches are asking him for a break. I think that'd be smart, as those right hands are landing just right behind the ear. There it is again. And this fight's over.
That's it.
Man, huge knockout here for Andrew Lauterbach.
Lauterbach making noise in the first round. Those were some big punches. Those were some technical punches, and those were on target for a big win. His second of his amateur career. That's the kind of night it's gonna be.
Man, so Lauterbach, he's what we call a ripper. I mean, guys just go in there, measure with the jab, and bomb an overhand. And I know in doing some tape study on Dayton's kind of a slow starter, very measured, can keep the pace for 3 rounds. But man, Lauterbach came out there like a stick of dynamite and was just ripping those right hands.
Man, he is hyped up. Woo, let's take a look at the highlights, AKA the entire fight.
Alex, you see that low leg kick right there, and then right, that big overhand right landed right behind the ear.
Man,
and then it was just the Lauterbach show from there.
Man, I mean, Dayton, he ate those shots well. Those shots are weird shots. When you get it behind the ear, it really throws your legs for a weird spin. You can't control your motor functions. I mean, wow, it's 3 just gigantic right hands to lead for this knockout victory for Andrew Lauterbach.
Alex, that kid is not going to be an amateur for long.
No, super. So 20 years old and trains like a pro.
Yeah.
Man, that training matters. Who you train with, how often you train with. You've got the talent. All right, let's go inside and make this thing official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Patrick Petlon calls for a stop to the action 34 seconds into the very first round, declaring a winner by TKO, Andrew Lauterbach.
And that's a young man who believes in himself and his abilities. And that is a scary proposition for the rest of the amateur division 155ers.
Man, I thought he was going to try to pick a fight with somebody else in the crowd. He was ready to go again.
Is he always that intense? Man.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
All right, let's meet our next fighter.